The Vindolanda digs have brought to light touching remnants, hinting both at the lighter side of life in the camps and its darker aspects. Trudy Buck is an anthropologist. Although she regularly takes part in the excavation campaigns, she takes a special interest in the numerous human dramas that would rock the fort's daily life. For the last few years, one mysterious case in particular has caught her attention.
This is the site of a burial of a 10-year-old child, a girl, who was found literally underneath the floor of this barrack building in this far corner. Now, that was it was extremely unexpected. At first, it was thought maybe it was an ape. We know that the Romans sometimes kept apes or monkeys as pets because the Romans don't bury their dead inside where they live. They're very superstitious. They're afraid of ghosts, and the laws prohibit burying within places that they live. So to find a child here suggests something untoward had happened. It definitely suggests that she was probably murdered. Most of her body was really well preserved. What we don't have is much of her skull, and this is possibly because she may have been killed by being hit over the head with something which could have caused open wounds. And we know through forensic anthropology methods that if you've got an open wound, that place quite often will start to decompose the quickest. And so it's not definite, but that's where we think she may have been hit and what killed her.
Who was this child? What was she doing in the soldiers' barracks?
This is an image of the child when she was found. So she's laid on her left-hand side, and her arms are very sort of tucked up like this in front of her body.
Isotope analysis of the well-preserved teeth have led Trudy to believe that the child spent the first years of her life in the Mediterranean basin. Maybe she was a young slave brought back from a military campaign, caught in a rivalry between legionaries, and murdered. At the time, the killing of a slave was considered a violation of the master's property. Legionaries were not immune to occasional jealousies, quarrels, and skirmishes. Some tablets found at Vindolanda tell of tensions, conflicts, or even repudiation.
Caecilius Secundus salutes you, Julius Veracundus. I've shown Centurion Decuminus the tablets you sent about anger and abuse among the soldiers. This calls for punishment, and we should discuss the matter further.
Discipline among legionaries was paramount. Even when the empire was not at war, frontier garrisons had to stop local rebels from raiding Roman colonies. And the retaliations carried out by the Vindolanda garrison have left their mark. The anthropologist Trudy Buck has been analysing human remains discovered along the ramparts.
We found a human skull. Now, this human skull has very likely been on a spike at the side of the ditch. We have another one from the north ditch as well, so sort of at least two on either side, and it seems clear that they have brought back trophies of the men that they've killed in battle, and they've displayed them on the side of the ditches that are surrounding the forts.
Along with the skulls, a humerus was also found in the defensive ditch.
What's interesting about this particular bone is its size. This is one of the largest arm bones that I have seen. Another interesting thing is it's got this shine all the way around the main shaft. This is the type of shine or patina that you get when people handle bones a lot. This has been some sort of trophy that has been brought back after one of the battles, presumably somebody's pride in defeating somebody who's quite so large and quite so muscular. And the amount of shine on this sort of really gives an idea that somebody has been telling stories around the campfire about sort of the time he defeated the champion of the enemy.
As the original skulls were too fragile, 3D replicas had to be made for Trudy to examine the injury signs. A sword cut on the right, a bashed-in fracture on the left, and a gladium perforation at the top. This Breton warrior was a tough nut to crack.
It suggests a really aggressive fight, a really sort of big face-to-face combat. And some of the things that we've been able to find out about this individual from his skull tells us why maybe he was fighting in this way. We've managed to get DNA and isotopes from his teeth. His DNA tells us that one of his parents was Italian. The isotopes in his teeth, the things that tell us where he grew up, they suggest he grew up north of Hadrian's Wall. Now, if that's where he grew up, that's presumably where his mother lived as well. So are we looking here at the product of a rape of a native woman by a Roman soldier? And does that explain why he's fought so hard, why he's been so difficult to kill? Because he's been fighting not just for his people, but also for the honour of his mother.
Wounds sustained by Breton warriors, as shown on their bone remains, as well as the macabre display of trophies, give us a glimpse of the occasional violence of garrison life. Even in the city of Lugdunum, burrowed deep in the heart of the empire and safe from the barbarians, excavations revealed outbursts of past chaos.
This skull was discovered on the excavation site in one of the digs of the military complex. It was identified as a Legionnaire's and is particularly interesting. Its composition allows us to think it was severed from the body and put on display in the military complex for everyone to see. This rather macabre arrangement was, however, rather common in antiquity.
What circumstances led to the violent death of this legionary from the Lyonnaise garrison? His skull was discovered in a particular layer of soil, which means his execution coincided with a dramatic event.
Occasionally, a find will give us information about specific events. This seems to be the case here. A major battle took place in Lyon on the 19th of February in 197 CE. The Battle of Lugdunum is a turning point in Roman history, marking the end of 4 years of civil war. Two Roman armies were pitted against each other.
Expedite.
Above all, legionaries were fighters devoted to the cause of Rome. But this did not prevent them from being entangled in fratricidal wars or taking sides in times of trouble.
Gaius Marcius Salmorius. Marcus Coelius Victor.
When we left our homeland, we were told our goal was to defend the sacred rights of so many citizens. We readily gave our blood, sacrificed our youth and our hopes. Our spirit on the front line may be unwavering. I am told Rome is awash with cabals and plots and treacherous schemes. Reassure me as soon as possible and tell me we can depend on our fellow citizens' support while we protect the greatness of the empire. If it should be otherwise, if our bleached bones should be sacrificed in vain, then beware of the legion's wrath.
In 197 AD, Claudius Albinus, leader of the legions of Brittany, crossed the English Channel and settled in Lyon. It was there that Septimius Severus, who had become the rightful emperor by force, came to fight his rival with the legions of the Danube and the Rhine. Whether young recruits or seasoned soldiers, these legionaries who had vowed to defend and protect the empire probably never imagined that one day they would have to fight their brothers in arms.
The garrison stationed in Lyon, the urban cohort, took part in these clashes on the side of Albinus. Septimius Severus won. He not only defeated Albinus, but his troops also plundered the city.
Lyon's urban cohort, which rallied Albinus, likely put up fierce resistance around and even inside the garrison.
These arrowheads come from the last phase of the camp's occupation when it was abandoned, destroyed and probably captured at the end of the Battle of Lyon when the town was ransacked. Some of them are intact, but some are broken, like these ones. The tip is completely broken off, the barbs are twisted. These artifacts are characteristic of a battlefield. They were found on the ground in the camp. It clearly shows that the invasion of the camp at the end of the Battle of Lyon was violent.